Something's unraveling behind the glossy Instagram photos and public appearances. For weeks now, whispers have turned into headlines. Is Hailey Bieber planning to take legal control over Justin Bieber's life? The rumors of a conservatorship are no longer just tabloid gossip. They're gaining momentum, and fans are divided. Justin's strange social media posts, emotional appearances, and sudden shifts in behavior have everyone asking, what's really happening behind closed doors? And more importantly, is Hailey stepping in out of love or out of desperation? Let's dig into the real story behind the headlines and explore how this once fairy tale romance has spiraled into a high-profile crisis of emotion, identity, and survival. Hit that subscribe button, tap like, and drop a comment, because what's coming next will blow your mind. Justin Bieber has been in the public eye since he was just 15 years old, skyrocketing to global fame with his debut single, Baby. For over a decade, he has lived under a microscope, with every relationship, every struggle, and every mistake broadcast to millions. In recent years, that spotlight has taken a darker turn. From tense altercations with paparazzi to cryptic and sometimes concerning social media posts, Justin's behavior has left fans uneasy. He's released very little new music, and many now wonder whether the pressure of fame has finally caught up with him. In a recent post, Justin finally seemed to acknowledge this publicly. Instead of pushing back, he took a more vulnerable stance, one of acceptance, exhaustion, and quiet honesty.
He's really honest. Like, brutally honest, overly honest. I could ask him about any person, any past girl, anything, and he'd be like, oh yeah, like this, and this. Like, he doesn't have a problem being explicit. And I think that made me trust him a lot, because I'm like, there's nothing I don't know.
Because you can tell when someone's being shady. And then when
if they dance around, or like, he's had people like DM him, and he'll be like, oh, like, show me the DMs, like, and he'll like be like, do you think that like this person's trying to be nice, or you think this is weird? And I'm like, I think it's weird. No, it's like he knows. He's just saying like,
it was a rare glimpse behind the curtain, and it signaled that something much deeper may be going on. Something is cracking between Justin and Hailey, not through arguments, but silence. The kind of silence that says more than words ever could. They used to look inseparable. Now, they look like roommates caught in a loop of distance and routine. Hailey has been carrying an invisible weight for years. She's weathered Justin's public struggles, breakdowns, and emotional swings, all while managing her image and brand. But after their child was born, her energy shifted.
this is my favorite perfume. I've basically been wearing this my entire life. I'm obsessed with it. It smells really vanilla. It's really gorgeous. It really does all the work for you without you having to do anything.
It had to. Suddenly, it wasn't just about Justin anymore. It was about their child and herself. Justin, on the other hand, continued spiraling. His Instagram turned into an emotional journal. Blurry photos, emotional outbursts, and cryptic captions took center stage. Many posts seemed like direct messages to Hailey, not in words, but in tone. Posts about loyalty, pressure, feeling misunderstood. They started to feel pointed. Hailey, meanwhile, responded with silence. Fewer posts, fewer appearances. She wasn't speaking out, she was stepping back.
I think there's a lot of timing and timeline stuff that just wasn't true, and that's also just the internet making up their stories and taking little bits and pieces of something they're looking at from the outside. And and by the way, it's so many different things.
Then came her billion-dollar business move, selling part of her skincare brand, Rhode. Fans took notice. Suddenly, Hailey wasn't just influential, she was independent. And many began to ask, is she preparing to walk away? Whatever was going on behind the scenes is no longer hidden. It's playing out in real time, on social media, and in headlines. Justin looks distant and emotionally drained. Even when photographed among friends or at events, his energy feels hollow. He seems lost. Hailey shows up too. Polished, quiet, always composed, but there's a stiffness to her now. A sense of someone pushing through, not living fully. Together, they no longer feel like a couple. They feel like coworkers managing a shared brand. And just in social media, it's chaotic. One post might be spiritual, the next deeply emotional. Captions about love, betrayal, and disillusionment pour out at random. Some feel poetic, others feel like screams. And many sound like they're meant for someone, maybe Hailey. One of the most striking examples came when Justin posted about his struggles with healing and anger. After yet another run-in with paparazzi, he wrote, "People keep telling me to heal. don't you think if I could have fixed myself, I would have already? I know I'm broken. I know I have anger issues. The harder I try to grow, the more tired and angry I get. Jesus is the only person who keeps me wanting to make my life about others. It wasn't just a post, it was a confession, and it shook fans. The pace is intense. Some days he posts 3 or 4 times in a row. Some captions are long and rambling, others are just fragments of thoughts. Fans no longer know whether they should worry or just look away. Hailey doesn't respond, but her silence speaks louder than ever. This is no longer just a relationship in trouble, it's a public breakdown happening in slow motion. And the scariest part, no one around them seems willing or able to stop it. At this point, it's clear. Something is breaking between Justin and Hailey. What once looked like a picture-perfect marriage has turned into a public unraveling. And the signs aren't subtle anymore. They're loud, raw, and right in front of us. Justin seems emotionally overwhelmed, lost in his own world, and constantly reaching out through social media, but never really finding peace. Meanwhile, Hailey looks like she's quietly slipping away, choosing silence over chaos, and maybe preparing for a future that doesn't include this version of their life. This isn't about drama or gossip. It's about 2 people who are clearly hurting and possibly no longer able to help each other. Maybe Hailey is still trying to hold on, or maybe she's done trying. Either way, the cracks are wide open and the pressure is only building. Whether they stay together or go their separate ways, one thing is certain, they both need more than just time apart. They need healing, space, and honesty away from the spotlight. Because if things keep going the way they are, this isn't just the end of a relationship. It's the collapse of 2 people who were never given room to truly recover. What do you think? Is Hailey finally choosing herself, or is she trying to save Justin one last time? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Because this story is far from over.